right, we ready? Thanks for coming to our, I guess would be periodic Husky Stadium update. I can't call it monthly or weekly because it's kind of harder as on an as needed basis. But this is the latest and greatest, and I wanted to bring you guys up to date on where we are and let you get a intimate look of what's happening with Husky Stadium. Briefly, we're currently 444 days into the project with 6 months left. The project continues to remain on budget and on time. We're in the midst of the interior construction with details beginning to emerge in Club Husky and the Football Operations Center and many key areas of the stadium, other key areas. Timing, nothing really has changed. We're hopeful to open the football program aspects of the building as early as August 1, so we can have things ahead of time. But just remember that our priority is still assuring that Husky Stadium is ready for the August 31st opener against Boise State. That is priority number one. In addition, we have made some key strategic investments that you may or may not know about. One that's been very public is the UW Sports Medicine Clinic, which is going to be in the southwest corner of Husky Stadium. It's in a project we had approved back when, 6 months ago, Carter, at the Board of Regents. It was one of those projects that sports medicine came to us with a strategic plan, and it's something that we're excited and happy about. It added scope to the project. The lease payments that they're going to make are going to essentially make it a wash, and we're very pleased to have world-class medicine within Husky Stadium. The couple of other enhancements that we're going to make are obviously to the audio-visual. You've seen it in Heck Ed already, Alaska Airlines Arena, and now you'll see it, the beginnings of it with the frames for our video boards and our enhanced speakers that are already up on the upper stanchions of the deck, and that's going to be something that's really exciting and great for our fans. And then we also made some improvements that we weren't going to do to the north upper deck, and we're going to do. We've done a lot of painting, as you've seen, and we're going to do some cleaning up of the bathroom areas and the concession stands, and it's really going to kind of spruce it up. We decided that, hey, we just can't leave it alone. We needed to really do some nice things and buff that part of the stadium up as well. So those are exciting things. These changes, again, won't cost the fan a penny. They will remain within budget, and we will make it work. And as you well know, we have approval to go 5% over. So again, we'll figure it out and we'll make it work from the standpoint of our current budget. Fundraising. You guys always like to know about how we're doing, and ironically, Jen Cohen and Roy Schick just walked into the room, the stalwarts of our team. We've raised $51 million of our $50 million goal, but we're continuing to raise money all the way through the end of the project, and trust me, Jen and Roy are tirelessly working through this, and we're going to continue to do so for the next 6 months, and we're excited about that. For you detail guys, we have $30 million cash on hand, right, Jen? Ticket sales, another good piece of news. This time last year, we sold 37,600 tickets. To date, we have sold 42,600 tickets. And we are really pleased with the new sales effort, and we'll continue to push through the spring and summer and hopefully have good, robust sales going into our August opener. Nothing new on the premium seat front. We continue to tell folks that we are sold out at Club Husky and Patio Suites. We have 7 of the 20 new touchdown terrace suites, which are going to be in the east end zone at ground level, sold, and Jen and team have just begun marketing that, and that's a hot product that's going really well. and all but a handful of the luxury suites are open. We had held a few back for corporate sponsorships, but we have a few of those available. Football operations building. We're extremely excited about the football operations building, and that's one of the things you're going to see today on the tour. It's going to be about 80,000 square feet, as I've told you in the past, and it's going to be the nerve center of our football team. It's going to allow our team and our staff to really operate efficiently with all those entities coming together in that west end zone. And in it, you will see where we're going to have the locker rooms, the weight rooms, the team meeting rooms, the recruiting lounges, the player lounges, and the coaches' offices on the top floor. Finally, for you guys that come to campus a lot, you've seen it. Our track is all but completed. Our student athletes have begun using the track. It's north of the soccer complex here, and our first meet is scheduled for April 27th. And to all of our neighbors and fans and the general public, you're welcome to use it when our student athletes aren't practicing with their coordinated practices, and we encourage you to use it and to take care of it. With that, I'll take any questions.
Would that have to be arranged, using the track, or can you just use it whenever? Is that?
It's open to the public. So when it's not closed for a track practice, there'll be signage there, and it'll be obvious.
Okay.
It'll be open to the public.
Scott, what would need to be, or at what point would the construction need to be at for, say, fall camp to be able to be in the stadium leading up to the game? You talked about August 1st being possible.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think that's a no-brainer. I think, in my opinion, the field is going to be ready in July. Now, how we access it and how we work around construction, Chip, is going to be the issue. Do we walk from Dempsey through the current east field to get into it, and do we stay out of the way of construction and how they're staging? All that stuff's to be figured out, but I'm very confident that the field's going to be laid and ready by July and by fall camp.
Will you be able to do fan-related things there then prior? Do you
That's not going to be a possibility this season because of all the construction going around and the danger of the construction site.
So picture day and all that. Do you know spring, what you're going to do with spring football? Yeah.
Spring
or like
football.
A spring game and things like that?
I don't. I think Steve and the guys are figuring that out. I think they're laying their schedule out, right, Carter?
Yeah. They're close to finalizing the schedule.
You said that hopefully you're going to be done right around August 1st, and then the last game is at the end of the month. Will the Boise State game be the first event in Husky Stadium, or is there a chance that there's going to be another event prior to the football game?
No, that'll be the first event in Husky Stadium.
And also, are you getting inquiries for maybe other events for this venue, maybe like the Rolling Stones or the Circus or anything? I mean, is there other interest to do things other than football with this venue?
You know, those are delicate conversations that we have to have with the campus community and our neighbors, and we haven't begun that yet. We're so focused on getting this thing done and getting it finished and doing it on budget and on time that we really hadn't thought about how we market it, because that's not a priority for us. It's a priority for us to have a community and more importantly a campus asset to host graduations and to host philanthropic events and do the things that we want to do. But here again, I can't sit here today on January 25th and tell you, hey man, we have a marketing plan to have a robust concert schedule. That we haven't even really thought about that.
And you mentioned earlier you're on budget. Has there been any surprises, been any other additions other than that?
No, the contractors and the architects and the development team have been great. They have a guaranteed maximum price, and they have been very vigilant and very dogged about sticking to it, and we feel very good about it. And anything that we have done on our own, and we've decided to do, like I just enumerated, sports medicine clinic, the audiovisual updates and enhancements, and the north upper deck cleanup and improvements that we're going to make.
Any sponsorships, any partnerships to announce?
Nothing new. Everything is as is.
It also looks like, looking at the timeline, that the scoreboard could be going up here pretty quick.
Oh, they will. I mean, I don't know when, Chip.
So, as an example, preparations for the north fascia is occurring live.
start seeing the Big East board will be more later in the spring, but they'll start doing the rim of the stadium.
But you'll see today where the structures are going to hold the video boards, especially in the west and the east side. We're reusing what we currently have and adding to it, enhancing it.
It's kind of, are you aware, I mean, because obviously we're getting close to signing day, recruiting visits, whatnot. Obviously you want to show recruits and their families what's happening. What's been the response?
Fabulous. It's been a difference maker. You know, your publication ranks our class 11th right now, and that's really very impressive, and I think it's a reflection of the job that Steve and the staff are doing. And I think this stadium and the improvements we're making to football operations are, I wouldn't say paramount, but I would say a key part of a great recruiting class.
Because we are in the midst of the recruiting season, I know they obviously had grand plans for the 80,000 foot football facility. Has there been anything that has either kind of altered their thinking or plans for how they want to use the facility going forward based on what they've seen so far this recruiting season?
Not really. The plans have been the plans from day one, and you know, the only thing we get is the wow factor when kids and fans see it. When we bring them through it, they just go whoa. And I think you'll do the same thing today. You're going to see how big the space is and how grand it's going to look with the views out towards the east, looking at Lake Washington. It's just spectacular.
Do you think you'll have a naming rights sponsor for the stadium in place before the first game?
We'll have a lot of naming rights opportunities and plenty of them. Are you specifically meaning the field?
The field, or the or the stadium.
No, we're not going to name the stadium. It'll always be Husky Stadium.
But it won't be like you won't have an Alaska Airlines Arena. Heck, it's a pavilion.
Oh, there could be Tim Booth Field at Husky Stadium, but we don't know. We're out there working and we're out there beating the bushes, but nothing to report as of today.
You kind of touched on it, but deciding to do a little bit more with the north side, I mean, how did that come about?
Chip and the team looked at it and just said, you know what, we can't have a brand new sparkling stadium and have this thing kind of looking a little tired coming into it. And they convinced me that, hey, this is a good investment to make, not only in the stadium and the way it looks, but for our fans, to really spruce up the restrooms and the concession areas and the concourses in there with new fresh paint and get some weatherproofing done and do some things that we've been wanting to do. So we decided to go forth and do that, and I think it's a very prudent thing to do.
Can you say roughly, I guess, how much the dollar figure amount is?
Chip, I don't know. $3 million. Yeah.
While we're mobilized, it's the time of a lifetime to get there while you're actually mobilized. So.
This guy was going to ask, because of the sprucing up, how much of it was an effort trying to be made to make the north amenities kind of resemble what the new amenities in the south?
Very much so. Very much so. We want to give our fans in the entire stadium a great feeling and a great experience.
But I mean, in terms of like the bathrooms, for instance, are you going to try to emulate on the north side what they look like on the south?
No, there's not going to be as many, and it's not going to be as quite as nice, but they're going to be spruced up. We're not totally redoing them.
Right.
Chip had mentioned earlier, with everybody with their smartphones and iPads and stuff, that you went and made sure that you got enough bandwidth. I mean, using a cell phone in Husky Stadium is impossible. Can you maybe update us? Because, I mean, technology's even changed in the last year. Just about, Wi-Fi and smartphone and all that.
Yeah, well, Kim, we're investing heavily there, and we're going to try to make it work. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but we're going to try to make it as high-tech and as user-friendly as possible for technology, for whether it be iPhones, PDAs, Wi-Fi. We're going to be really cutting edge, and we're going to be very progressive as far as stadium goes.
Anything else for Scott?